It's going to be fine. There he is, isn't it? Nice to see you here. We'll drop the music down there and just have this beautiful little breeze today. A bit chilly. How would you describe the weather conditions here in the Bay today, Joe?
Better than the UK. Bracing. Still bracing.
And we've got tomatoes!
And we've got loads of tomatoes, yes.
Why is it that suddenly in the UK everyone's a salad eater all of a sudden?
I don't know. I can't stand stuff myself.
What salad? Imagine a little bit if you would. Yeah. You were very busy last time, wasn't you? Running chores. I don't think you had time to talk to me, did you? Really great, thanks.
All the kids. It's a long list of chores.
So can you tell us about retirement, still proposed? Just willing to meet. How rude. This one, he's muted up now. He's muted up.
I'm actually thinking of trying to get a full-time job in.
Yeah, if anyone's got any work John can do, just to keep him from like being work.
It's not enough hours in the day.
What sort of things then? You're cooking, cleaning, running chores, Leroy Merlin?
Looking after the poles, the gardening, sweeping, fixing things.
Amazing. What did you think you'd be doing? Drinking cocktails by your pool rather than doing it and doing all these jobs? Yeah. And what was your vision then at the time, if I may pry a little bit?
I wasn't sure what.
In what way?
This week, but it's beautiful day for a big beach. So yeah, the idea of retirement here, just sitting around the pool, chilling, eating nice food, nice construction.
We'll have to make one of those memes, won't we? What I thought I was going to be doing, what my friends think I do, and what I actually do. Because you'll believe in the last picture. Well, we got a few messages already. Look, we got fan mail. Louisa, yikes, we're at this. Look, can you just witness this? John, they're fine, aren't they? They're playing on the green. They're happy. This is them. Is that them on a boat out in the bay?
The bay, actually.
Yeah, wait, no, it's wave to them. My kids. It's okay, Mum, only kidding. Come back in here, your mum's cold with a chance of ripe tomatoes or tomatoes. Yes, where you're from. Cold with a chance of ripe tomatoes, love it. That's the UK. And hope you are getting. Oh no, that is us, isn't it? Because we do have ripe tomatoes here. They are everywhere. And bees as well. You've got not a flock of bees, a swarm of bees. What is it? Yeah. Right. Quite a buzz. Yeah, and if not, then we're looking for a beekeeper or somebody who knows. Well, you can have one of those, like the man with bees as a beard event. Go first to let yourself.
Honey production.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we do need a bee expert here on Silver Coast to handle that swarm. Currently in John and Paul's garden. Tea Duck is at it. Have loads of fun on loads of things. I think that's fun. Milan's way of saying fun. Carl and John's best. Milan. Lovely. I missed your hug today, Milan. Mrs. It's such a treasure. Yeah, where are the kids? Oh, we've got Fuzzy Audio. Oh, we've got Fuzzy Audio. What that is? I'm not sure what else I can do about the Fuzzy Audio. Tweaking things here. I'm not sure what else to mess about with. Is it distorted? Is that what you mean? I hope it sounds better now. Oh yeah, FYI. That wasn't long ago. In fact, it just must be the cold. Yeah. It's not the tomatoes, that's for sure. So, you moved from UK to Silver Coast?
UK about a year and a half ago now. About a year and a half ago. We moved from Shropshire
Did you?
Yeah.
Which bit of Shropshire were you in? I used to live in Bishop's Castle.
Oh, we were in Oswald Street.
Very nice.
But only there for 2 years before. Prior to that, we were in Farnborough.
Yeah.
All around Surrey, Berkshire, that area. Yeah, so then we moved to a nice little quaint little village in Oswald Street,
Very nice.
called St Martin's, actually.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Okay.
From St Martin's in the UK to Sao Martinho Do Porto. You didn't? You didn't like Shropshire? Oh, what, everyone knowing your business? Bit too... Oh, you're right there.
Are you possibly on the computer, Mike? It does sound a bit.
That'll be it. That'll be it. This is suddenly going to be miraculous. I didn't think about that. Thank goodness. Top producer T-W6. Yes, we're coming through. That'll be it. Thank you. It suddenly sounds a whole better. How's that?
It's all very technical.
Hallelujah. Brilliant. Okay. We sounded better now. You were coming through the general mic, which is not a good thing. Sounded like we were on a Zoom call.
Underwater.
Yeah, covered in tomatoes. Tomatoes is the theme today. Anyway, says Milan, have loads of fun. Cheers, Milan. You have a great time wherever you are. I'm sure you will be. You know how to live, Milan. So yeah, British village life, not for you.
No, you have this vision. It's going to be idyllic and
Can I guess? Down the pub, village pub.
Yeah, but they all know each other, and even though we lived there 2 years, people still say, "We've only been here 5 minutes. I've been here, man and boy, all my life. You've only been here 5 minutes. How can you ever say in what happens down the local centre and stuff like that?"
Did you? Is that really how they talked?
No.
Did they? That's just a standard British yokel accent there.
I just automatically go into that. I can't help it.
Traffic sounds great. Look, we've sorted it out now. Yes, it's better. Very good. Botard from Washington. Who's this in Washington, D.C., John? We got a message from Washington, D.C. Who's the president? Sorry? It could be the president tuned in. Botard from Washington, D.C. Okay. And so it sounds like you didn't manage to get your own tankard and seat. Because you've got somewhere in a pub in the UK,
don't
don't
sit
you?
there.
That's Big Dave's seat, that is.
Big Dave sits there, yeah, right by the fire.
It'd be proper cross when he comes in. See, finds you sitting there.
It was nowhere near the West Country, by the way. I don't know
No,
why.
but it's just what we do.
I don't know why I'm talking about that.
It's a bit Welsher, isn't it, on Oswald Street and
South
South
we were actually right on the Welsh borders, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that was the problem. I don't know.
And then suddenly Portugal comes on the radar. Why is that? How did that happen?
I don't know. We'd been looking, well, before we moved to Shropshire, actually, we were looking to retire and move somewhere, and abroad was on the cards always. We went to different places, Spain and to France, looking, and we were going to these different seminars about moving abroad.
Were you?
And,
what are they like?
It's boring, really. You get lots of free pens.
A seminar about moving to France, or what is it they want to do? So you've got a set of pens.
Got loads of pens.
Right,
With property companies on them, yeah.
But what's in it for them? They want to sell you the house or the visa or what?
Well, there's all sorts of things. There's financial, a bit like you. A bit like the services that you offer here, Carl.
Yes, there's me being all innocent about that. What do they do, John?
Financial services.
Yeah. What, like Spartan FX? So you can get your currency, for example.
Can get your currency from, where was
for
that?
somebody
Spartan
like
FX?
Yeah, funny you should ask, John.
Spartan FX.
SpartanFX.co.uk if anybody wants currency.
That,
yeah, really good. Yeah. Okay, so they get you trapped in a room for a day.
Do, and you get
free pen.
There's a big hall.
Sorry, John, I haven't even got a pen for you this
Carrier
morning.
bags with lots of leaflets.
Yeah, okay. Do you get a taste of the food or anything like that? Or just a sandwich? Just a ham sandwich?
No, I don't recall food being involved. I'd remember if there was food involved.
Right.
Yeah. So, we decided that we went to all these different places, to France. We went to rural France, city France. We just decided it wasn't for us.
Right.
We got some friends that live down in the Algarve, and we constantly going to visit them. Do
you want a drink?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, I'll take another Mayor de Late if I may. Obrigado. There we go.
So it just wasn't for us. As I say, we've got these friends in the Algarve. We used to visit constantly. We loved it down there, but we felt it was a little bit too, not only out of our price range for property, but a little bit too warm for us, especially in the evenings. I like to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah, it's this bonus, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Right.
And
yeah, and then we did a scouting trip to this area. I just kind of fell in love with it. We've done lots of research, videos, YouTube videos, etc.
All those jokers on
uh,
YouTube
uh,
telling you about it.
All these Portugal expat websites and things like that,
Yes.
offering
Yeah.
services and things. We
Well, like Spartan Effects.
Side effects. Watching this crazy guy on a radio show every morning, finding out about the different areas that he used to point out. And I remember you coming here and saying, "Oh, look at this view! This is fantastic."
Well, that's how I felt when I first arrived. I couldn't believe it when we first got here to Sao Martinho do Porto. I mean, like today, we take it a bit for granted now, don't we? This is our, we're very grateful and fortunate to have this as our everyday
Still have
life.
to pinch ourselves.
Don't you just?
We do, yeah.
It's the first of the month as
Beautiful it is.
well. Okay. So, Silver Coast suits you a bit better than the wild heat and prices of the Algarve.
Yeah, love it. The people, absolutely fascinating, absolutely beautiful people. Not so keen on the fish. I don't like fish.
Don't like fish. Don't like the expats, but the local Portuguese people are great.
Local Portuguese are really nice. Yes. Lots of lovely restaurants and bars. Just a relaxed lifestyle, and everyone. I haven't met a bad person yet. I don't think.
Oh, that's lovely to know, isn't
I
it?
haven't met a bad person.
Good to
Everybody, whatever the nationality they are,
Yeah.
everybody just seems to be of the same mindset.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially the expats, because obviously we've all been through the process or going through the process of
The expat meal.
The expat meal, yeah. So I mean these meetups are absolutely perfect for meeting people and asking questions, getting to know the area, getting to know.
Are you? Well, really? I would think of you immediately as an expat expert who tells people stuff. But you, I mean, even who's been here for a while, you find out things here, don't you?
Yeah, we're finding things all the day, all the time.
Well, look, we've got someone going to say hello to somebody here. Hello. Hi, Sao Martinho. No. Good Morning Portugal. It's on YouTube. On YouTube. Mas prazer.
Am I famous now?
You are officially. When you get stopped like that,
yeah.
We should have just said yes. We should have just said yes, John. Thank you. Muito obrigado. Coffee coming there from 2 Duck. Cheers, mate. Yes, we could have said yes. This is Sao Martinho TV, television, couldn't we? And strung them along a bit there, but we're not like that. We're not like that. So yeah, lovely people. Totally agree with you.
Yep. Everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. From what I mean, we just walked along the beach here, and we've swapped telephone numbers with 2 people already that are saying, "Oh, have you been to this restaurant? Oh, we'll have to go there. This is our telephone number." So we swapped telephone numbers with 2 people: a Swiss lady.
How lovely is that?
And an English lady that actually lives in Ireland. That was that Fiona.
Oh yeah. Well, don't keep it to yourself. What restaurant should we be going to? What are the new tips for Sao Martinho do Porto for anyone who's watching? There's a new Indian restaurant in the Quay, isn't there?
There's a new Indian restaurant at the end of. Do they call that? I think they call that the Pier, don't they?
I thought it was the Quay.
Is it the Quay?
The Quay.
It was on the internet the other day as the Pier, the Quay. That funny bit over there.
Yeah.
There's the last building. Can you see that?
As you're looking out to the right by the opening, the neck of the bay there.
Yes. Meant to be a really good Indian restaurant. We've yet to try, but
same here.
Lots of people giving good reviews about it. Apparently, the lamb
and mango.
I've
heard that as well from another source.
Really
yes,
nice, very lovely and tender. So really looking forward to trying that. We tried a new restaurant last night in Alcabasa, House 51.
Is that the extension of Pratus?
It's run by Maria. You know Maria from Pratus.
I don't know. I'm not as in with the locals as you obviously are.
Maria.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, she's lovely, and she runs Pratus. All the local people know Pratus.
Yeah, it's great.
But her daughter has brought the restaurant next door, which they've turned into. It's called House 51. It's a little bit of an American twist to it. So last night I had USA style ribs, and they do burgers. They still do all the normal traditional fish things.
That was a gap in the market. I've heard people saying, "Where can I get ribs?"
Yeah.
So not because the Portuguese do entrecostas, don't they?
Yeah.
But not in the juicy, saucy style of rib that you get in the United States.
You get it and it's just falling off. It wasn't like that. You had to gnaw at it. But it was tasty.
Right,
you had to gnaw it off the bone.
That's just Portuguese, though, isn't it? Definitely.
But so it wasn't falling off. But it was actually.
What you lost?
I can't see it.
It's all right. My coffee's safe. That's what I was looking for. No.
So that was really nice. So we had the end Some friends of ours had basically it was black spaghetti with prawns on top.
Oh, that sounds good.
But it was advertised as tempura spaghetti, but there was no. You think
Nothing
of
deep
tempura-
fried or
no,
lightly fried.
No,
yeah.
no batter anywhere. No batter to be
No
seen.
batter to be seen.
But you
That's
think it's
interesting.
advertised as tempura? We were expecting some kind of batter, but it was just literally black spaghetti with prawns on it.
An old squid ink pasta, possibly.
Yeah,
There.
and another lady had that was with us had a salmon with a. Oh, look, I'm being
So
summoned.
she's going now.
Bye.
You had enough?
I'll get a taxi. Don't worry about me. I'll get a taxi.
You are the taxi, John. What are you talking about? Has he got to go? Right. Okay. All right.
This is my 15 minutes.
Time, gentlemen, please.
Yeah. No, it's been great.
Please take your
chatting.
belongings with you. Just a couple of quick questions, I think. What do you think the population is of San Martinho do Porto? Would you say? Do you know, to my embarrassment, I don't know how many people live here. A few thousand, I would say.
Crikey.
Yeah, it's well over the hundreds and not tens of thousands. Are you counting them?
Yeah.
We'll come back to you on that.
Too many.
Tabitha, Carl. Tabitha has a bad case of cephalus, she was saying last. Cephalus, as in Ceph. Yes, did he? Okay.
No, I thought you talked about that little fruit that you get. With the
physalis. She's got a bad case of physalis. Yeah. Chinese gooseberry. All right, okay. Look at this. We've got Carpe Diem Wayne saying, with you on the fish thing. It's right up there with beetroot.
No, see.
And coriander.
You can't beat a beetroot and salad cream sandwich.
Beetroot and salad cream sandwich.
Oh.
With or without coriander?
No, without coriander.
Without coriander.
Although coriander, I love coriander.
Not many people. Well, it's a real crowd splitter, crowd pleaser, isn't
a
it?
bit like Marmite, isn't it? Some people say it tastes like soap powder.
Yeah, that's right. To some people, it does actually taste like soap because of their genetic disposition to it, apparently.
That's my favourite herb, that is, actually.
All right. Paul Richards is here from Yorkshire, saying good afternoon. He thinks we do Yorkshire better than we do our southwest accent. So, all right, lad. Good afternoon. Oh, what's this? San Martinho do Porto 3,101. Thank you for that. Top producer, T-Duck. He's great at this stuff, isn't he? 3,000 people. That's interesting. There are many more than that at the carnival, but I guess people come back from around the country and around the world for carnival. A new Indian, San Martinho do Porto. Yes. Please tell more. We'll try that in a few weeks. Yeah, up at the end of the quay there, and just had bacalhau at a restaurant in Miranda de Corvo. Fantastic, says Tabitha, and I love beetroot.
Yeah, you use it like apples.
Beetroot lovers. Oh, we're going to bring T-Duck onto the screen as well now. You're on. T-Duck is, look at that. Extra footage. The roving reporter is on his way around San Martinho do Porto. This will be good. Eat it like apples. Best with horseradish. Would you have it with horseradish or salad cream for you?
Salad cream for me.
As in old-fashioned salad cream, not mayo.
No, Heinz.
It's got to have a tang on it.
Heinz salad cream, which is obviously difficult to get here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Where can I get a steak? A good steak in your 3,000 town? Nacho de Pedra. Right? Been there?
No.
Steak on stone over the way.
Where?
Steak on hot stones over at Salé de Porto. You'll love that, Paul, when you come. And we are tidying it up, ready for your arrival in May. So, yeah, you can get a good steak not far from here. Nacho de Pedra. I did a little video on it, actually. It's on our YouTube channel. So, yes, all of the inquiries are resolved now, John. I think you might be on the move, reading between the lines. You can stay. You can stay. I thought.
Say it.
Yes, it was about 15 minutes of fame, I think. And I hope you'll come back.
Okay. Well, the dogs are thirsty. So I've got their bowl here. Look.
I wonder what that was. Can you demonstrate? Let me just put the big screen on for you to demonstrate. This is for dog lovers who find themselves in Portugal.
Collapsible water bowl.
Collapsible water bowl. You're going to need that, aren't you, in the hotter weather, of course, for the dogs. And it doubles up as a nice little hat as well. Brilliant. Okay, John. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's been lovely.
We're gonna go back to the music.
I hope I haven't made your numbers plummet too much.
No, if anything, you've swollen my numbers. I suspect. So thank you very much. We'll put the music back on. And you don't get to keep the headphones. Although I might have a little complimentary set of plugins like you get on an aeroplane. to the camera now. Look at that. You've got 3 different things to look at. 2 handsome fellas on the bottom view there. Bottom view. That's probably not the best way of putting it.
Better than a
Body cam.
better than a bottom view of 2 handsome fellas.
This is probably how we intend to go on here, isn't it? Perry, thank you so much for agreeing to have a chat.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, and you have been in Portugal for how long now?
It's exactly 10 months, my wife and I.
10 months.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so every day's a celebration. That's
It
a nice
is.
milestone, isn't it?
It's people, we talk to people and they say, how do you feel being here? And we wake up sometimes and sometimes it's not real. We'll be
Yeah.
walking somewhere, we look out here.
Yes.
And we'll just stop and say, is this us? Is this real?
Oh, superb.
it's a
I'm
beautiful
so glad to
place.
hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. And you came from Canada, or so originally from Canada, and that was your country of origination.
And that's where we were until we came here. Yes.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, Canada's got a lot going for it as well, isn't it? Beautiful country.
Beautiful country.
Okay. Strange government at the moment, some say.
Strange.
I
is
won't
not
draw
the-
you into that
strange-
necessarily.
You don't want to, trust me.
Okay,
I could go on, folks, but we'll leave it.
Yeah, let's not spoil the. Let's not spoil our day.
atmosphere. Right.
Okay. So, and one of the really
Now,
interesting things.
if I may say
Go,
so,
of course.
since we've been here, we haven't met any Canadians.
What?
So if you're out there, look for us. Please.
Oh, okay.
We haven't met any.
Well, I'm thinking of doing the well, I am doing. I mean, I've already launched it really, but it's very early on in the process of the Portugal Immigrant Network (PIN).
PIN.
And we want representation from other people other than Americans and English.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being here, representing Canadian state. What would you say then is uniquely Canadian about the migration process to Portugal? Is there a Canadian angle? Are there things?
I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, of course.
But I know
yeah.
it was relatively convenient for us because we were in Ottawa, the capital.
Yeah.
So the Portugal embassy was close to home for us.
Okay.
So we were able to initiate all the paperwork from there and get our
Right.
visas from there. So that, as I said, was very convenient. So
Okay.
that helped.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think of a better question than that, aren't I, for the people from the respective countries other than UK and America who come to Portugal and stuff. Because there are so many countries that make up the immigrant population here. And when we're getting close to 1 in 10 people is an immigrant into Portugal.
Really?
Yeah. So yes, we'll work to be done there. And if you are
Well,
from one of
if
those
you took
countries,
this as a sample, it would be 10 out of 10.
yeah, that's right. We've colonized, haven't we? On the
You can't
deck.
say that anymore.
No, oh, dear. It means different things in different parts of the world. Please don't judge me too harshly. I'm British. I mean, what can I say? Okay, so we Tabitha just had bacalhau and loves beetroot, and we've told Paul where to get steak, and now some port made by one of our wonderful Portuguese neighbours. They've adopted us, kindest people ever. John, who was talking before you, Perry, was saying that loves the people of Portugal. Would you concur?
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody's been friendly, and it's funny. I'll go into a store and we're learning Portuguese, and I'll start the conversation in Portuguese, and they'll switch to English, and I'll say, "Please, I'm trying to learn the language.
Mhm.
Stay with me if you can."
How is that going?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Okay. And
It's-
what are your tactics for learning Portuguese, as well as talking to the locals?
there's
As you just
there's
said?
can I give a plug to a website? that I've been
Absolutely.
using? Practice
Yeah,
practiceportuguese.com.
Roy and Joel.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That's been now. Everybody learns differently. My wife is learning online with a live tutor,
Mhm.
but I'm enjoying learning online.
Yeah.
So and again, practiceportuguese.com has been great for me.
Yes, you make a really good point. I think people, if they're struggling with a particular approach, it's hard enough already without having a bad time of it, isn't it? So find a method that works for
Exactly.
you, right?
Yes.
Different learning skills, or different learning styles and skills. I think it's important to find one that works for you, and it's important to have a bit of fun. Sounds like you have fun engaging with locals. You don't mind that?
I would say so. Yeah. It's I'll talk whenever I can. Go into stores and where we live. We're living in Lisbon now,
Mhm.
and a couple of local store owners have become friendly with us. So that's always helpful.
Oh, that's great.
Asking around. So
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
we
sounds
ha-
like you're going down well then as expats.
well, we're as they say, we're out of our comfort zone.
Mhm.
Like we were never the most extroverted people.
Oh, right.
Right.
Okay. So that changed then since you've been here.
We have to be.
Yes, true.
We have to
True.
be. Right? It's
Okay.
funny because we're friends with a couple that I met in a grocery store,
Uh-huh.
and they were standing at one section, and they had that
that lost look in their eyes, right? And they had their cell phones out, so they're obviously translating what they were looking at. So I sort of loitered for a minute, stalked them for about a minute, and then I heard them talking English. So I went up.
Did you step in?
I did. I said, "Where are you from?" So they had been there a week.
What, standing in the shop?
No.
They were really glad of your help by that point.
Yes, I showed them they couldn't find their way out. So they had been in Lisbon for a week. We had been there at that point about 6 months or so. So I befriended them there, and we've become friendly with them now. And those are the types of things you have to do. I mean, back home, we never met up with people
So
like this.
interesting, isn't it?
You never got out of. You have your social group, right?
Yeah,
And at our age, you didn't make an effort to make friends.
because you're comfortable.
You're comfortable. But
Yes.
here, you're starting all over again. As my wife said, I'm sick of you. Go out and find some people. So we had to do that.
Would you recommend that level of honesty in the new country between couples?
Yeah, you know what? It can be obviously a very positive experience, but you're going to be isolated for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not good for any
No,
relationship.
true. Well
So,
said. Well said.
So you really have to put yourself out there. My wife and I have decided, yes, we're going to go meet people and we're going to go put ourselves in different positions.
Yeah. Very good. That's great advice.
There's a funny story. So we have a daughter. She lives in the UK actually, and she went to a little school in Eastern Canada called Mount Allison University.
Right.
3,000 students in Sackville, New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of months ago, I was out early one morning walking, and there was a man standing on the corner near where we live wearing a Mount Allison University sweatshirt.
What are the chances?
Exactly. So I went up to him. So my first question is, do you speak English? I asked him in Portuguese, of
Yeah.
course, and he answered me, yes. He's French. He's from France, but he's a traveling professor. I said, did you go to Mount Allison? He said, yes. I said, what did you do there? He said, well, I was a biology professor. I said, my daughter studied biology at Mount Allison University. She graduated in 2017. He said, yes, I was there.
Wow.
Now, they didn't know each other.
Yeah.
She didn't know his name. He didn't know her name. But what are the odds? And things like that. I just pick up on, just go out there.
We
and,
are
and put yourself
differently
out there.
alive. Yeah, the expat life, you're alive in a different way,
Yes,
aren't you?
We say our phrases, we're living in color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that's a great reason to up sticks and move, isn't it? Just that alone. And a bonus that Portugal is such a great place
It
to
is.
be in is to your liking.
100%.
Yeah. And you live in Lisbon, as you said. That was so for your first year, you thought you'd be in the capital and
Exactly.
explore from there. Base
Yes.
camp is Lisbon, is
It's
it?
Lisbon, and we decided we'll give ourselves a year, and we'll explore Lisbon, and of course explore the country a bit.
Yeah.
Which we've done.
Where have you been?
We've been up north,
Mhm.
Porto, Braga.
And you came back.
We came back.
Some people don't come
Really?
back.
No, we like
Yeah.
it here. I think there was no reason not to like Lisbon.
Mhm.
We were in Porto and Braga in the summer. We didn't spend a lot of time there, but we looked around. But we enjoy it here. So we said we would give ourselves a year, and then we met up. It was our real estate agent who found our apartment in Lisbon in the first place,
Mhm.
and she was very helpful. Also, we started to look for a home, and she took us, or we went on our own both. She took us within pretty much a 90-minute radius of Lisbon to look around.
So that was one of your criteria. This is when people ask me, where it's so difficult deciding where to live in Portugal. There are your mutables and immutables, and you set one for yourself that you wanted to be within 90 minutes of the capital.
And part of the reason too is frankly the weather.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
weather is nicer and warmer here.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
come from Canada, so if you're going to make the step, folks, you may as well go all the way. So we came for the good weather.
Look at
Good
this.
part of it.
T-Duck is at Hotel Park. Look at that. Have you seen this building?
Is that where he got arrested?
Yes, just
Okay,
recently.
yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes,
surprised. I thought there was an
They
exclusion zone around
They
it,
let him
right?
back there.
They
yeah.
let him back near there, or maybe he's got a disguise on. Yeah, who knows? Oh, he's running away from the scene now.
That was the order, the restraining order.
There he is. He's
Yeah.
waving. It's me. So this 90-minute traveling distance from the capital, you've ended up in Lourinhã,
Lourinhã, that's where we're moving. Yeah.
which is really fascinating to me because I only know of one other person who settled in Lourinhã, another Canadian. What's that about?
Wow.
It's like people from Colorado end up in Ponte Lima. Turns out Canadians end up in Lorignan. What was it that appealed to you? Was it the dinosaur park?
It's funny. Well, as a friend of mine said, he said, I read it that it's a fossil city. Is that the people who live there, or is it because they used to find dinosaurs?
Could assure you it's not the people
Right.
necessarily. Although Portugal does have the oldest population in Europe. Yeah, we have an aging well, no, the people live to a ripe old age here, and there are many of them, and a lot of young people obviously go abroad. So yeah, it is in many ways it is a fossil country.
It's the wine. The wine keeps you alive a long time.
I think so. It preserves people, perhaps, doesn't
good
it?
lifestyle.
But we're making jokes about fossils and dinosaurs because there is an incredible dinosaur park and a wonderful museum in the town. It's a charming little town.
Mm-hmm.
What else drew you to Lorignan?
It's funny. We looked around. We saw various places, all beautiful. But sometimes, and my wife is better at this than I am, we just got a feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, part of it, the allure for me was that it's very close to the beach. I mean, it's on the coast.
Yeah.
So that, as they say, checked one box.
Yeah.
And you just get a vibe. And my wife is, as I said, she's very empathetic that way.
Yeah.
She gets those feelings.
And you're happy to go with that?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, I liked it. I had nothing bad to say about it, and I liked it. But she got a really good feeling. So that's and she's always right, as it turns out. So if she,
I'm going to make sure she hears the recording because that will go down really well, Perry.
Well, she told me to say that.
Oh, okay, excellent.
So she doesn't have to hear it.
Another box check then. Well done.
So it just felt right, and she really liked it. And there's a bistro on the beach there that we fell in love with. Actually, it's funny.
It's all you need.
Yeah,
a good feeling and a good bistro.
And there's a couple of good restaurants.
Yeah.
And then our daughter came to visit us a month ago, beginning of February, and we took her there, of course, and she was with her boyfriend, who's a surfer from Australia, part-time surfer, and they just loved it. Also, they loved the beach.
So another validation for you.
Another validation, yeah. We took. We haven't taken anybody else there yet, but we've driven up the coast with various people that we've had visiting. So it's a
do you know,
it's
really interesting you should say this, getting a feeling for the vibe, the intuition, using that part of our process as human beings.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a kind of axis forming or a Johari window or something where you've got, rationality and facts and research, hard research and intuition. What sort of balance would you say you have?
That's me personally?
Yeah.
I'm about 80% science.
Okay.
20%
intuition.
Right, and my wife is probably the opposite.
Okay,
but she's always right with her intuition.
That tells us something,
yeah,
doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it works.
So your facts are used to back up the intuitive decision rather than the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. And there are and there have been some places and people too. We all experience this where you'll see that something's not right.
Yeah, definitely. That's intuitive.
That's
isn't
intuitive
it?
because when we walked in, when we were first looking for apartments, and we came here exactly a year ago to find our apartments for 2 weeks, and there were some places we walked into and we just said no.
That's it.
And the good thing is we were both on the same wavelength with that, so that worked.
Did you have codes for that, or did you?
No.
Because some people do, don't they?
No.
They don't want to upset the owner,
yeah.
So they'll have. I think somebody had a code. I can see us growing tomatoes here. Seriously, I think that was their phrase, so as not to give the game away, so it wouldn't go into a bidding war.
Our code was if we lived here, we'd go crazy.
Right.
So, no, actually, and I'll say this too, because our real estate agent, Saida, who took us around, we didn't need to see that many places because she had a good feeling for what we wanted as well.
Well, isn't that good?
Yeah, so that was very helpful.
So she's intuitive about you.
And that's, again, giving her a plug, but she's intuitive about us, and that's how she helped us find our apartment in Lorignan as well.
Great.
She knew
we're going to talk to her on the show because I know that top producer T-Duck is a big fan of Saida as well. She's a top Remax agent in Lisbon,
I think.
One
of the top in the country.
Amazing. So it's going to be great talking to her at some point. So Lorignan it is for you. For people who don't know where that is, we're talking about it's on the Silver Coast. It's above Peniche, but below Sao Martinho and
It's
Foz.
about 13
is it
kilometers.
below?
It's about 13 kilometers south of Peniche.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah.
And from the beach at Lourinhã, you can see Peniche sticking out there.
Okay, and the Belinga Islands and so on.
Yes.
Out
You
at
can see
sea.
those, yeah.
Okay. Anything else about the place that we can tell people, or do you not want to tell people so you can keep it to yourself?
It's. I just think it's a beautiful. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful place. The beaches are wonderful.
Yeah.
The restaurants are great.
Yeah.
And what I liked actually driving into town, I saw the outdoor paddle courts.
Oh,
I
okay.
like
You're a
that.
paddle player,
Not yet.
but you've got your eye on
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
think I'd
So,
like to play because I used to play squash, but I haven't played squash in a long time, and I used to play tennis. So this to me looks like a hybrid between squash and tennis.
now coming up, either this weekend or the one after, our friend Colin, who's sometimes at the meetup here, the guy who gets me to go over to Obidos to take part in the music quizzes, which are great fun. Our wonderful friend Colin Ross Jones. He is, I think he's on the committee of a paddleball club, possibly Caldas Terrenas or one of the clubs around Caldas, and they're having an open day. So if you or anybody wants to try it out, they're doing a demonstration at the Caldas Expo Centre, which I think happens this weekend or the weekend after. But more details about that to follow on the show. But there is a thing going on at the moment, isn't it? Is it paddle or pickle?
Paddle or
That's
pickle. Pickle, I don't think is as big here
I don't think it is.
as it has become in North America.
Yeah.
I think here they skip directly to paddle.
I think you're right. And
In all of Europe, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. So the people who came over with their pickle gear might have to convert.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Paddle and pickle
Yes.
is the way forward. Because I know we were our channel sponsor, Your Home. They were live on the breakfast show this morning. Bobby was on the show, launching the sales office. I think there were 30 homes for sale. He sold all but 4 of them. I think within the first hour. They've got paddle courts. That's part of the build there. I think 6 or 8 paddle courts on site there. So I think that's presumably quite a good way of getting to know other expats and making friends in Portugal,
Of
right?
course, yeah. Always.
Yeah. Okay. Any other strategies then for doing that? Your integration theory, let's call it that.
Okay.
Perry's integration
Yes.
theory here.
Perry and Arlene's integration.
Perry
theory.
and Arlene,
Yes,
of
I have to give
course.
my wife credit. Yes.
Yes. What are your tips for people coming to this country and how to fit in best?
Just don't be afraid to expose yourself.
That's how he got arrested.
As I'm saying it, I'm saying, hold on a second.
Yes.
No, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make
To
yourself
share.
vulnerable, to share,
Yes.
to say hello.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Anything else? So yeah. You said this. You've gone from being I don't know if this is the way of putting it, but you were naturally introverted, and you've had to be more extroverted.
Exactly. Yes.
That's
yes,
part of it, is
yes,
it?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife especially. Yes.
Okay. Anything else for the integration, for having a happy life here?
Just enjoy it. And it's funny because we've had friends. Coincidentally, we were doing, for lack of a better word, I keep a list of people who visit here from either that we know from somewhere in North America.
Yeah.
And we've had 12 groups.
Have you? You've hosted 12 lots?
No, they haven't all stayed with us.
Oh, right, okay.
But we've had 12 instances. Some as many as 4 people at a time, some 2 people at a time, some 1 person. But already 12 instances of people who have come to visit.
Wow.
And all of them had said to us, "Oh, you're an inspiration. You're it's a great story." And we say, "Well, hold on a second. I appreciate that, but our story is not unique at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's unique to us, but just in this group alone, there's thousands of people who have done this."
True.
Right?
And I think you should take the credit and the praise, though, because it is quite something, isn't it? Especially from their point of view. You have up sticks.
Right. Yes.
And you have been brave
Yes.
and courageous.
I suppose. Yeah.
And
We don't look at it that way, though.
You don't.
We don't. I mean, as I said, we'll sit back sometimes and say, "Who are we that we've done this at this age?"
Yeah.
And I think we surprised our daughter.
Yes.
But she's very glad for us.
Okay, so that as the last question, then that is something people struggle with, isn't it? Is this distance that can be created by moving to Portugal? But you said she's in the UK, so
Our-
you're
our daughter-
closer.
I think, yeah. I think if our daughter were still in Canada, we wouldn't have done this.
Really? Okay.
think
All
not.
right. Yeah.
But we still have family back in Canada. My parents,
Yeah.
thankfully, are still alive. They're 85, 90 years old.
And is that a Zoom thing more now?
It's FaceTime very
FaceTime,
often, yes.
okay, yeah.
And you know, my parents, to their credit, said, "Look, it's sad for us, but we're happy for you."
Yeah, amazing.
And as I said to them, I said, "Look, our daughter's 28 years old.
Yeah.
She's been pretty much out of the house, going to school or traveling for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we say we know what you're going.
That's how
through.
you roll as a family, then. Yeah.
We know what you're going through, and our daughter inspired us.
Oh wow.
Because she, on her own, has traveled. I mean, she went to school in New Brunswick, but then from there she did a semester at the University of Tasmania.
Wow.
So we Googled the furthest inhabited place on Earth from Ottawa, Canada.
Yeah, Tasmania.
Hobart, Tasmania. Exactly where she was.
Yeah.
And then she came back and she went to school in Scotland and ended up in Oxford, and she's been traveling. So
Oh, how incredible!
Yeah.
And now you're closer to her.
yeah,
than
exactly.
you
So we
used to
saw
be.
her in October. She was here. We went to see her in October. She came here in February, and she'll be back.
Oh, that's superb. Well, thank you so much
Thanks for having me,
sharing a
Carl.
bit of
It's a pleasure.
time with us and the Gumpers, the Good Morning Portugal folks here.
If I may ask, if
Of
there's any
course.
Canadians out there, contact Carl. Also,
Well,
if-
okay, that will prompt me to maybe focus first on Canadians as part of the Portugal Immigrant Network and get a little. I mean, how would you see that working? What would you want to do? Do you want to have meetups or online resources, or
it
what's
doesn't
the
matter.
deal?
Just to say hello. Maybe we know somebody. Maybe
Yeah.
we know somebody in common.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I may also, I don't know if you know what a parrot head is. People who are parrot
No.
heads, will, if there are any parrot heads there. Now, parrot heads are big fans of Jimmy Buffett.
Okay. The
Okay.
country and western singer.
Well,
Is he not meant to be cool?
he's not. Parrot heads will say he's not a country western singer. He's
Okay.
a singer.
Okay. All right.
So
Sorry.
I haven't seen
Sorry,
any,
parrot
I-
heads.
yeah, exactly. So I haven't seen any here, but contact Carl.
Why are they called parrotheads, or
Well-
why are you called a
well,
parrot head?
Well, Deadheads come from the Grateful Dead. Right?
Yeah.
So parrot heads, because at his concerts 40 years ago, people started, because of his music, the Caribbean influence.
Yeah.
People started bringing in blow-up parrots.
Of course.
And so
Now it all makes
dressing in-
sense.
So yes, it makes perfect sense. So
Yeah. Okay. So a shout out and call out to the parrot heads and Canadians of this community to make contact. And yeah, you can get in touch with Perry through me, through the Good Morning Portugal community, and we'll make that happen. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
really,
me, Carl.
really great
Pleasure.
to talk.
Thank
Oh, we met before, but really nice to talk to you in greater depth. Hello. Are you next? No. Cheer up. Got my 4-year-old who's I think wants me probably to buy him an ice cream. Is that the ice cream face?
He's got that look on his face,
He's got the
yes.
ice cream face on. He's an ice cream head and not a parrot head. Okay, thanks, Perry.
Thank you, Carl.
Let's get that music back on now and shots.
There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.